It's the AIDS Action Committee. Find out what kinds of goods and oddities you might discover when you read through it.
Hey everyone, welcome to Sunshine All Around This Beautiful World, a presentation by wordofhonor.org. We are part of the Sunshine of the Americas Foundation, a nonprofit 501c3, and we work to make the world a better place locally and in our state, in our nation, in our hemisphere, and beyond. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Reverend Danny DeGoog. I'm the founder of wordofhonor.org, where you can be ordained for free to be an interfaith minister. Remain perfectly the personality that you are. To fear not that no one's going to control you and manipulate you. There's no cult leadership there. And you yourself can build your own website. Once you are legally ordained, once you download for free at my website, wordofhonor.org, you can start your own website, start ordaining people, start your own nonprofit, and build a better world from your angle of life. Your social, beautiful angle, your wonderful uniqueness. Yes, come and visit me. Yes, if not for you, right? If not for you, where would we be, right? Now, you, me, we, all of us together, it's a wonderful experience, jumping into the divine ocean of life. We are all living spiritual drops of living love, and we can go into that ocean and participate. Talking about If Not For You, we're going to play a piece of music by the very interesting and humble and wonderful Beatle, George Harrison. If Not For You. If not for us.
If not for you, babe, I couldn't even find the door. I couldn't even see the floor. I'd be sad and blue if not for you.
So togetherness, community, is part of today's TV show. That's one of the thoughts to keep in mind. The togetherness that comes with two that are in unity with each other, respecting each other's expressive diversity, but remaining united and individuals simultaneously. It's a wonderful balancing act called social love, community love. And that's what it's all about, huh? That's what it's all about. So as we're thinking about that, I'm going to pluck out of my educational Word document some words for the day. And I'll bring it up on the screen. They're special words. Yes, those special words are lost and found. Lost and found. Have you, in your adventure in life, felt absolutely confused? You're looking for that particular, you're looking and you're searching and you're wondering and you're confounded by where are those objects, or where is that object that I'm looking for? And sometimes you just give up and you say, I cannot figure out how to discover, how to find, how to locate that missing object. Maybe that missing object is someone that you need in your life, someone special, someone very special. So let's go back to the piece of music and we'll bring it out into out of the darkness and into the light. Yes, let's see what we can do here. And yes, if not for you, yes, here I am. So let's continue to work to bring out the best quality presentation that I can today. And we're going to listen to George Harrison a little bit more now. And we're going to look at his words and think about those words and how important those words are in this particular piece of music.
If not for you, my sky would fall. Rain would gather too. Without your love, I'd be nowhere at all. I'd lost it all for you.
So he's saying he'd be lost if not for you. Now, George Harrison was a very, very down-to-earth person, but he was also a very spiritual person. So sometimes you wondered whether or not he was talking about his personal relationship with the divine mind, the source of all existence, or a romantic, compatible person known as his spouse.
If not for you, the winter would hold no spring. Couldn't hear a robin sing. I just wouldn't have a clue.
Now he's probably thinking, you could think of that on two levels, that he would not be able to hear the robin sing if not for you. Not for that person who gave him his auditory nerves, his ability to comprehend and understand the sweetness and the wonder of a robin, and all the beautiful birds, all the wonderful birds all over the world that whistle a happy tune or whistle a mystery to us. If not for that person, our divine mind, we would not be able to enjoy these fine experiences. But also listening to the voice of someone that you love. Could be your brother, your sister, your mother, your father, your son, your daughter, your cousin, your aunt or uncle. Could be someone in your life that is a dear neighbor, somebody that you just love listening to that person's voice. Because of you, we are able to have the wonder of it all. The treasures of the kingdom of heaven are within us. And it's up to us to discover, to look for those things that are lost, and to find them in ourselves, and to make them become precious treasures in the here and now, making them visible, and learning to share them, and finding a person that you can share with. Some people, they don't want to hear about your relationship with the divine mind. Well, find someone that will like to hear that, or study on your own and practice the power of community with your Creator, and build up a relationship in the right community. Find a community, whether it's Jewish or Muslim or Buddhist or Catholic or Hindu or Christian or whatever it may be, Course in Miracles, the Urantia book, etc., 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 etc. Find community, because community is one of the keys to finding the mysteries of life and having them revealed to you in the most beautiful ways. When you think about a dog, that animal, he's with you. We'll say it's a he. He's with you. You lose your job, the dog still loves you. The dog comes over. He loves you. He licks you. He tells you in so many wonderful ways that he's there for you. Even though you lost your job, you lose your house, you lose this, you lose that. All these things become lost in your life. But that dog is so loyal, stays by your side while you're sitting on a doorstep homeless. That dog remains with you and loves you for better or for worse, for richer or poorer, in sickness and in health. That dog loves you. And that's the way we're supposed to treat each other. And for some reason, beyond human understanding somehow, maybe within the kindness of human understanding, we allow the separations of men and women who have children, and we confuse our children and we help them successfully get lost in life. They lose their minds, they lose their souls, they lose their purpose, they lose their direction, they've lost. So remember today's two words, special words, lost and found. So we want to be able to find the way into the kingdom of heaven. And it's up to you to have a personal responsibility to take on those words, personal responsibility to discover them. You found them, and to live by them, and to be strengthened by them, and to move on with your life. Let's go back to George Harrison. And if not for you.
Not for you. If not for you, the winter would hold no spring. Couldn't hear a robin sing. I just wouldn't have a clue. If not for you, not for you.
So we thank the beloved and the one and only George Harrison to the spiritual realm he has gone into and the interfaith wonders that he is experiencing in the blessing of the kingdom of heaven, the joys of living and the power to pursue the consciousness and the liberty of a true son of God. You know, he's advancing to higher and higher and higher levels. He's moving on and moving on. You know, Jesus Christ was the greatest interfaith minister that ever walked the face of the earth. He taught to love your enemies, right? Now, when he tells you to love your enemies, he's also teaching to love people that are different than you. To love your fellow Catholics, Jews, fellow Muslims, you know, to love one another, you know, even though we're different, to love, and love. Jesus also taught to say you're sorry. Learn to apologize. Learn to say, I am sorry. And then the person who's hearing that he taught, learn how to forgive. Jesus' message was surrounded by the family wonder, the family joys, the community at large. Jesus wanted us to experience the brotherhood and the sisterhood of humanity. And that's his legacy. The interfaith consciousness that he has left on the planet Earth is expanding throughout the Catholic Church, throughout true Christianity, and beyond. It's embracing all people, no matter what religion. And this is the example that Pope Francis is doing the best he can to events. Now, at wordofhonor.org, we make it a lot easier to become involved with those personal responsibilities of a priesthood. So if you're interested in becoming an interfaith priest or interfaith priestess, you want to join in, download for free, make a commitment, and you can download also in the state of Massachusetts a certificate of good standing. Now, I make it easy. All you have to say to yourself, in your soul and in your mind, when you're making that decision to download the certificate of good standing, ask yourself, am I in good standing? And I will respect that, and you can download it with my designated signature on it, and it's good to go in Massachusetts. Massachusetts is like very uptight at times compared to some other states. Some other states enjoy the great liberty. You don't need a letter of good standing. All you need is your license. The state recognizes you and respects you for your ambition to be an interfaith minister or whatever religion that you are. That state is a higher state, in my opinion, than the state of Massachusetts, which is overbearing at times. Well, what do you expect from a genocidal state? Massachusetts has a history of genocide. You know, the way that they mistreated and abused the natives of this state. And they still do it. They still, in the 21st century, they're still abusive by retaining the most hideous flag in the history of the world, in my opinion. I've been to court 4 times over it. And it is a diabolical symbol. It's based on corruption and violence and genocide. And it's retained, it's permitted by the state of Massachusetts to reign supreme as a state flag and its state seal. And then in Massachusetts, you also have, you know, the gambling that they have going on here, which is lotteries, scratch tickets, etc. Now, they gave this lottery, they were willing to give the casino more so to an out-of-state tribal organization rather than focusing mainly at that time, mainly and solely on getting the natives of this state the relationship of being the gambling kings and queens of Massachusetts. Now, I'm not saying that I'm for gambling. What I'm saying is that the corruption that's existing in Massachusetts towards its native people still exists. It's terrible. It's a mess. Absolute mess. But that's where we go into lost and found. We're trying to find out. We're trying to discover what is the meaning of lost and found. Massachusetts is lost in certain ways, and then it's great in other ways. Don't get me wrong. I love Massachusetts. It's just certain things about Massachusetts which is hideous and barbaric in a certain way towards our native people. Now, I've interviewed many Native American Indians in Massachusetts, and that's how they feel. They don't feel welcomed in their own territory, in their own land. So what we got to do is we got to correct this. We got to keep on growing and going. It's not over. We continue to work to make community the most important presence in our lives. We make community not without our native people. We make community with our native people. Come and see it at wordofhonor.org. You're going to see some beautiful programs there that will distinguish the corruption of Massachusetts from the mothers and fathers of the Americas, our native people. So I'm going to go back into this piece of music, the tail end of it. There it is. And then we're going to go on to another piece of music, hopefully, that's filled with life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. What is life? You know, that's a good question. What is life? We think about how to live our lives, how to be honorable towards our Native American people, how to be respectful towards our leaders, how to work with our present government and trying to bring out the best in our leaders by invoking prayers of well-wishing for all who are in leadership, whether it's a governor of Massachusetts, our local mayor in Cambridge, our president, whoever it may be. We're called, as spiritually minded interfaith ministers, to invoke prayers for these people and to wish them the very best in life. So come and join me in the spiritual realm of the great mystery of living. What is life, right? Here we go.
What I feel, I can't say.
know, when we think about life and the meanings of life and the purposes of life, you know, we struggle sometimes to understand our position in life. Where do I go with this relationship? How could this possibly have happened to me? I feel so lost. People say that often in a relationship that's gone sour. You know, the spouse runs off with another person, the spouse dies, the spouse is bored. You know, that's not the way it's supposed to be, it seems. But when someone dies, we got to accept that. You know, we may feel lost. How do we find ourselves? We have to put ourselves into the divine presence of the mind and the source that gave the heart to beat for the one that you now have lost in your life. That person gave you your heart to beat, and you're only human. You got to understand your nature right now is human. And if you live a life where you have discovered the principles of true love, you're going to go up and you're going to have another world to live in, and you're going to have a much better experience than you've ever had while on earth. You're going to discover something so beautiful. But while you're here, it's important to discover, how did all of these mysteries happen? How did all these occurrences become? Like, for example, every human being on the face of the earth, their hearts beat on the 21st day while inside the mother's womb. How is that possible that the beat begins on the 21st day of every human being? How is that possible? How is it possible that we can look through our eyes and see existences and distinguish colors? How is that possible that all of this comes to be in life? How is it possible? Life is so mysterious and so wonderful. Try to enjoy the mystery of life, the wonder of life, the glory of life, and those things that make sense to you. When you lose somebody in your life, don't give up. You go on with your life. You go forward with your life. You continue to believe in love. Believe in the person who designed us all. Don't give up. Keep on going forward. Keep on meditating and praying and studying and enjoying the living experience of being with new friends. Join a community and find yourself established in the kingdom of love. You may not be in heaven, but establish the kingdom of love in your own life. Let's go back to this piece of music. Yes.
What I feel, I can't say. My love will serve you anytime. It's all love that you need, and I try my best to make everything succeed. Tell me what is not life that you love. Tell me who am I without you by my side? Oh, tell me what is not life that you love. Tell me who am I without you?
You know, if we have no consciousness of the personality that designed us, if we have no interest in discovering the person who is the potter, who took this clay and made the face and made the whole body and made the organs and made the experience of living and made the importance of reasoning, and so that if we did not have that, we'd be nothing. But since we can reason and we can understand and we can connect to that relationship, let's do our very, very best to connect. And let's dedicate ourselves to connecting. Take one word like connection or connecting. Let's continue to connect. Let's have that connection. Word of